Hi everyone. Credit card mistakes people make. This is what I'm going to talk about. Most people lose money on credit cards because they don't understand the dates or they forget the dates. So, from my experience in bank assurance for over 20 years, and I've been a credit card user for over 30 years now. So, I thought I will share some very useful information for you. To start with, the statement date. This is the date the bank calculates all your spendings for the last 1 month, or what we call the new billing cycle starts. And on this date, we must remember that a bill has been generated and the bill will have a, a minimum amount due and a total amount due and the due date which you have to pay. The moment you get a bill, what are the things you need to look for? The number one, you have to look for any financial charges. If any, by mistake, sometimes you forgot, or sometimes the bank puts a charge which may not be relevant. And the second thing which you need to look for, how much is the minimum amount due and when is the due date to be paid and what is the total due to be paid. Now, what is the relevance of a minimum amount due? This word itself is deceiving. So, because it says MAD, minimum amount due, but if you pay the minimum amount due, you will just save what you call the late fee alone. If you don't pay the entire amount, there will be a late fee, there will be a GST on it, and there will be an interest levied. How is the interest calculated in a credit card? If you don't pay the minimum amount and or the total due, even if you pay 1 rupee less, there will be a charge incurred which is called the financial charges, which ranges up to 45%. And this financial charges will be calculated not on your statement amount, but it will be calculated on your statement amount and also from the date of purchase. Suppose you had purchased 40 days back a watch for 10,000 rupees. That 40 days interest will be charged, and the interest percentage, as I told you, will be somewhere around 25 to 45% depending on bank to bank. Now, if you pay the minimum amount due, what is the advantage is, from the total due that will be reduced and immediately there will be a credit limit will be increased. There, as you all know, there is a credit limit for your credit card, and that limit is there is a maximum limit. And why this is relevant? Because you all know that in any CIBIL calculations, the credit limit used and also the total credit limits and also the late fee incurred, whatever the amount you are paying regularly, all these are being calculated in CIBIL. Therefore, be very careful while using credit cards, because your CIBIL score will also be monitored based on your credit card usage. Now, what I would advise is, the moment an SMS comes, the statement generated, and you get a SMS, what I would suggest is you immediately pay the minimum amount due. Because if you do that, immediately the late fee portion is over, it's getting, the headache is over. Not only that, immediately your credit limit is increased. Thirdly, you also will remember to pay your total due soon, because this SMS, the payment which has been done and the balance will always be there on your mobile, and you can remember to pay the balance amount. So make it a point, don't keep it till the last day. Make it a point to pay the total due at least 3 days before the due date. And the good news is that the total due includes all credits and also the refunds. What is that? What do I mean when I say credits? Credits means, suppose you have done an EMI conversion for 10,000 rupees. You have purchased a watch and you convert that into EMI. Immediately that 10,000 rupees is credited into your statement back. So that credit will be added to your total due. So while paying the total due, you can reduce that amount and pay the balance. Number two, if there is a purchase refund which is happening within the due date, that will also be added to your total due, and you can pay the rest of the amount only. So that is the advantage of the credits and refunds which is coming into your cards. But mind it, minimum amount due has to be paid, even if the credits are beyond the total limit. Suppose the credit which has happened in your card is 30,000 rupees and your due date and your total due is only 20,000. But you have to pay your minimum due. So mind it, if you don't pay your minimum amount due, finance charges will be incurred. Now coming to the EMI conversion, everybody feels that EMI conversion in card is very good option. But mind it, there is a GST involved in all the EMI conversions. There is a processing fee, there is an interest, and there is a foreclosure charges. And on all these three, there is a GST involved. So taking an EMI in a credit card is more costlier than an EMI or a loan from a bank, because the interest from the bank is GST free or tax free, whereas the interest on your card is taxable, and therefore GST is there. So ideally, if you need to go for some EMI conversions, go for it, but prefer a short term and negotiate for processing fee waivers and all this. So you all know that there is something called Visa, the Master, and the RuPay. Now don't think that these people are the providers who are actually lending you the money. No, it is your bank. You would have taken a card from ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank or Axis Bank, and they are the people who are giving you the money. But Visa, Master, or RuPay, they are payment networks. They are the ones who are actually processing the payments for you, but the money is actually given to you by the bank. And lastly, if it is a RuPay card, the advantage is UPI transactions are also allowed on your, just like your GPay, you having money in your account, you can use your credit card to pay your bills, food bills, and etc. So that is the advantage of using a RuPay card, which is our own Indian brand. Other Visa and the Master are international payment networks. So to sum up, I tell, when you get a credit card statement, remember to look at the minimum amount due, the total amount due, and the due dates, and immediately pay your minimum amount due to reduce your burden of late payments and also get into the CIBIL unnecessarily, and also to increase your credit limits immediately. So to sum up and to close, if you pay your credit cards on time, or if you manage your credit cards well, it becomes a very powerful financial tool. But if not, it becomes a most expensive tool. Thank you.